Is Jennifer, and I am a nutrition coach at Bandit CrossFit. And today we're here to talk about making schedules that really work for you. In our busy lives, knowing how to create a good schedule is super important. It's going to help you get more done each day, help you reach your goals, whether you're in school, at work, or just trying to stay a little more organized in your life. During our time today, during this talk, we will chat about how to divide your time, decide what to do first, and also how to stay flexible. So let's dive in and discover some simple yet effective strategies and helpful advice to design a schedule that suits your life and improves your overall well-being. At Bandit CrossFit, we are partnered with a dietitian through Healthy Steps Nutrition to support our clients using a framework that is guided, tested, and proven. We also believe that something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple habit-based approach. But we know that helping you become the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about what you eat or going to the gym just a few hours a week. We have to focus on a holistic approach, addressing all of these things right here. Nutrition, stress management, your mindset, the support system of people around you, and your lifestyle in general. Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped a lot of people all around the world take control of their health. These are just a few of their incredible success stories. They're kind of hard to see. But if you're looking to create your own success story, we know that even though it may be simple, it's far from easy. There's a lot of misinformation out there regarding the best diets, the best foods, the best exercise programs. And so it's no wonder that if you Google what diet should I do or anything diet related, you will probably feel overwhelmed. Talking about feeling overwhelmed, I do have a question. I don't know. I think Susan hopped on for a minute, but I don't see her now. How many of you have experienced that frustrating feeling at the end of the day when it feels like you've been so busy, but yet when you look back at it, you don't really feel like you got anything substantial done? Or perhaps you checked off numerous tasks from your to-do list only to realize that the truly significant ones were left untouched or they didn't get finished or even gotten to. You are definitely not alone, and this struggle happens to me all the time. Today, we're going to help you master the art of scheduling. And by the end of this, I hope that everybody will walk away with at least 3 simple and practical strategies to help you figure out how to set yourself up for success with a schedule that works for you. That's the goal. When you look at this schedule, what do you think? First thoughts. For me, a while back, all these different color-coded days just seemed like I was losing my ability to be spontaneous. It felt like loading up my day with these tasks was making my life a lot less fun and a lot less interesting. And honestly, that was a little scary. So in the beginning, sticking to a schedule was really tough for me. I even ended up, and sometimes I still find myself doing this, kind of being the schedule police, like to other people in my life, to my kids, to my husband. I get so anxious that if anything seemed like it might mess up my impromptu plan, I would get a little crazy about it. But the more we've kind of gotten into it and I've stepped back and kind of realized something, those times when I feel thrown off were when I had no schedule whatsoever. Um, and then I get overwhelmed. And if I got interrupted while I was doing something, I'd kind of be totally lost. So, sure, getting things done is awesome, but I'm also discovering that it is crucial to manage your time so that you're not stuck working, past time to get off, or throughout the night or having to bring work home. What's really crucial to understand is that time isn't just something that appears magically. You have the power to make it. When someone says they don't have time, what they're basically saying is that whatever it is, it's not a priority for them right now. Because if it was super important, like a life or death situation, they'd definitely be figuring out a way to change their plans. One of the most valuable things anyone can do is plan out their day. preferably the night before. Studies show that when you make a list for the day, it makes you think more clearly. And when you follow that list, your productivity shoots up by 25% just on the very first day. It just proves that successful people all work from a daily checklist. Creating this list will give you an awesome feeling of getting things done and being very productive. This means you'll finish each day feeling really proud of the important things you've accomplished. This is the very first, most important step when we are talking about how to make a schedule. So let's get to those 3 simple strategies and kind of get things rolling. Tip number 1 is to create a morning routine. Creating a morning routine is a great way to start your day on a positive note and set the tone for productivity throughout the rest of the day. In fact, there's a Harvard Business Review that was completed in 2019 that found that 92% of highly productive people follow planned morning routines. Explaining this, being productive is not about doing more, but about doing things in a different manner. So let's kind of break this down into some simple actionable steps you can take right now to work towards building your morning routine. The first thing to do is to try to wake up at a consistent time each day to start regulating your body's natural clock. Begin with a few minutes of gentle stretching or light exercise to waken your body. Next, dedicate time to mindful practice, such as a meditation or some deep breathing to kind of cultivate mental clarity. Then a nourishing, well-balanced breakfast to fuel your body and your brain. You got to turn everything on. Then prioritize tasks by creating a to-do list or reviewing your schedule that you did the night before. Lastly, consider incorporating activities that you enjoy, like reading, journaling, listening to music, or infuse your morning with positivity. We read a book a while back, or I read a book a while back, and several people with me on it's John Acuff wrote the book, but I can't remember soundtracks. And one thing recommended in that book is to like daily affirmations, like some affirmations that you put on your mirror or somewhere, and you kind of talk out loud to yourself and you tell yourself what kind of day you're going to have and what kind of person you're going to be. And that could be really good, a really good practice to put in your day. Another book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, suggests that a morning routine called Savers. Each letter in Savers stands for an activity that can improve your morning. And I'll go through that real quick with you. S is to take a moment of silence through meditation or deep breathing, just to kind of clear your mind. And then the A is to use positive affirmations, like I was talking about, whether encouraging thoughts to help you focus on your goals. And then the V is to visualize your goals and imagine yourself achieving them to boost your motivation. E is get your body moving with some exercise to wake up and feel energized. The R is to spend time reading to learn new things and expand your knowledge. That's one thing in our mindset challenge this month is reading to learn, not for pleasure. And then S is to write in your journal or scribe. That's where the S comes in, to reflect on your thoughts and experiences. That's something that I have in my evening routine. I'm trying to keep a notebook by my bed and writing down things that I accomplished, things that I thought about that day, and things that I want to kind of think about the next day. And then that way it's right there for me to review the next day. Including these 6 activities in your morning routine, you can work on personal growth, being more productive, and feeling better overall. Okay, so working on that morning routine. The second tip that I want you to take away today is we want to avoid the midday madness. During a busy day, it's easy to feel swamped by tasks and distractions. I don't know about you, but this is so distracting. I use my phone a lot for work, and I find myself going around in circles because while I'm accomplishing some task in some app, I get a notification from something else. And I feel like if I don't go look at it right then and try to fix it, then I'm going to forget about it. And so something else comes in and it's 30 minutes before I'm back to the thing that I was trying to work on. So we've got to come up with a plan for that. The good news is you can definitely tackle the chaos of the midday madness. It's not just doable, but it's super important for us to stay productive and feeling good. So one thing that we can do is use a technique called time blocking or scheduling, which can really help you avoid chaos throughout the day. Time blocking is a straightforward productivity technique that involves scheduling a specific time for specific tasks that are on your calendar or your to-do list for the day. Rather than just a list of things to do throughout the day, actually take a calendar that has every hour on it and plug those tasks into a specific time so that you know when you're going to be doing what and what you're going to be doing when. It'll help you stay focused and organized. I have this resource. If anybody would like a copy of this, I can send it to you and you can print out as many as you want. Or if you're super fancy, some people know how to, make this into an editable document and you can schedule your stuff virtually. But me, I like paper and I like a pen and I like to cross something off when I'm done with it. But there's some tips and there's a list here of places where you can put the things that are non-negotiable, the things that have to get done. And then the second list there is things that you just want to get done. They're not necessarily a make or break for the day, but something that would make you feel good if you could get it done. And then over here, you've got every day and every time, and you just fill in those tasks where they need to be. You want to make sure that you account for breaks and some buffer time in between tasks. But visually planning your day or week in advance, you really enhance your efficiency and ensure that important tasks are prioritized and that they're getting accomplished. You can also set up some time with a coach at the gym to go over this and kind of help you out too. I would be more than happy to do that. And Dina as well. Last tip or tip number 3 is to create an evening routine, right? So we have our morning routine and then we're going to time block and audit our day for the middle part of the day. And then we want to create an evening routine as well. Creating an evening routine involves finding a balance between winding down and maintaining a healthy work life separation, especially for those of you that may work from home. Start by setting a designated end time for work to avoid overextending your work hours. Gradually transition out of work mode by shutting down your workspace, tidying up, and closing your office door. I love the idea of clearing your desk and closing out all the tabs on your computer so that you can just be done. And then when you come back the next day, it's all set up to start another good day. And then when you get home or on your ride home, start to engage in relaxing activities such as taking a walk, some nighttime tea, or spending quality time with family. You definitely want to start limiting your screen time before bed to ensure better sleep quality. Prioritizing like self-care things such as reading, stretching, or another session of meditation to kind of help you unwind. And then lastly, establish a consistent sleep schedule to ensure you get enough rest. We've done tap talks before on sleep, and some of those tips for kind of winding down are shutting off your phone. If you're doing nighttime reading, make sure it's from an actual real book with pages and not something that's got blue light like a phone or a Kindle or something like that, because it just keeps the brain going, and creating a skincare routine, a stretch routine, all of those kind of things to kind of help you transition into sleep and let your body know that you're ready to rest. Remember that all of these routines are about you, so you're going to tailor it to your preferences and what works for you. You just want to create a sense of closure to your workday and foster a peaceful transition into your evening hours. So kind of wrapping things up, being able to create and stick to a good schedule is a big part of managing your time well. If you use the steps that we talked about today, you can seriously increase how much you get done and reach your goals much more easily. It's not about finishing tasks, though. Having a clear schedule also makes your day less stressful just because you know what to do. I think one of the things that I posted in the group, or maybe somewhere, I think it's Benjamin Franklin that said, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. And when you have it written out and you kind of see what the day holds, makes a big difference. try all the different tools and tricks that we talked about. And remember, as with anything that we teach in our nutrition program, one thing at a time. So I don't expect you to go, create your nighttime routine, adding in 10 to 12 things that you're going to do every night, and then expect you to wake up and have your morning routine set in stone. And I certainly don't expect you to have your day all planned out tomorrow, but start small and pick what would make the most difference to you. Would it make more difference? Would it be more helpful for you to start with that morning routine? Or would it be helpful for you to start with the evening routine? Or would it just help for you to get a planner and start scheduling out that midday or your day throughout the day? There's a super helpful planner that Janice and I use, and I think Jennifer Bullen uses it as well, and I've recommended it to a lot of my clients, is the Daily Focus. I left it downstairs. I was going to show it to y'all, but when the dog started barking, I didn't bring it up. But I'm pretty sure Full Focus. Full Focus is the name of it. You can pick them up on Amazon, or you can check their website out. There's a whole program, and a lot goes into that, because it's not just planning every day, but you kind of break your year up into quarters and plan. I have not gotten into that much of it. I really use it just kind of monthly and weekly to map out the tasks that I have and then start plugging them in. And I just really like having the list. And there's also a place where you kind of put your daily your big three. So like the three biggest things that you want to accomplish each day. And then I told you about my nighttime routine that I'm trying to implement by reviewing that plan that I had for the day, and then kind of making notes about things that went well and things that didn't work well. Kind of a gratitude list too, of things that I'm thankful for. And then always try to put on that list something that I'm looking forward to. So be patient with yourself as you try to incorporate these new routines and habits, and celebrate every little small victory along the way, like crossing things off your list. It's a big celebration for me. Always remember too that the nutrition coaches at Bandit CrossFit want to help you build these and many other healthy habits. If you are ready to learn how to implement some positive changes to your current nutrition habits or your lifestyle, the nutrition coaches are definitely a resource to use and reach out and ask for help. I don't know if Dina ever got in here today. Maybe she was having a busy day, but she would be happy to help as well. So I did kind of give you a couple of frequently asked questions. I wanted to try to be able to answer as many questions as I could. And I know I don't get a lot of people live on here for these talks, but I try to anticipate some things that might be running through your mind. So if your schedule changes frequently, right? Busy moms, embrace flexibility and have a core routine, that morning routine, evening routine, and then those big three things that you do every day is a good way to kind of keep that core routine, but allow for adjustments. You may just have to move some things from the morning to the evening, or the evening to the morning, or some things to the weekend, or some things in the beginning part of the week. Keep your to-do list and adapt your schedule based on how your priorities kind of change, ebb and flow through the seasons. I know if you've got kids that play sports, my schedule just kind of changes around what season we're in. The other question, is it okay to have downtime in your schedule? Absolutely. Downtime is crucial for mental and emotional well-being. Schedule moments for things like relaxation, put your hobbies in there, spending time with loved ones, and your self-care. Put time on there for taking care of yourself. Even if it's, I tell young moms all the time, if put on there when you're going to go to the bathroom and close the door and not let anybody else in, because that's part of it. You definitely need to be flexible. How long does it take to adjust to a new schedule? Sometimes it's quick and sometimes it's longer. It can take a couple of weeks. So definitely be patient, but be consistent with your attempts at working on your schedule. And gradually your routine should become a habit, just like everything else that we're working on. Setting a schedule is really about finding what works best for you and adapting it as needed. What works for you is one thing, and what works for your neighbor is something completely different. And that's okay. Whatever works for you is what works. It's definitely a tool that can enhance your productivity, help you to maintain balance, and definitely just being happier. we did talk today about 3 tips that you can take to start focusing on taking control over your time. But I always end these talks with talking about our 3 core principles in our nutrition program. And those are the first thing is focusing on whole foods first. This eat meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. That's a quote from Greg Glassman, founder of CE of CrossFit. We definitely want to start choosing whole food options and eating less processed foods that are usually packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. If you start reading your nutrition labels, that's what you'll notice on boxed foods. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate using the plate method. If you haven't heard about the plate method, it's taking your plate, dividing it in half. In one half of your plate, you're going to fill up with non-starchy vegetables, like think about your green vegetables. And then that other half of the plate, you're going to draw another line halfway through that side. And a quarter of your plate will be lean protein. And that other quarter of the plate will be your starchy carbs, like potatoes, rice, quinoa, starchy vegetables, that kind of thing. The second principle is that we want to focus on a balance of macronutrients. There's 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fat. And so when we say a balance of those with every meal, we want to make sure that every meal and snack that we eat has all 3 of those macronutrients in it. We want to have a protein source, we want to have some carbohydrates, and we want to have a little bit of fat. When we pair each meal and snack with all 3 of these macronutrients, it'll help you to stay fuller longer. And most people feel their best when they're fueling their bodies with 40% carbs, 30% fat, and 30% protein. Hold on. Sorry, my phone was ringing. If you're following the plate method, that is pretty much the purpose of the plate method is it'll give you the 40% carbs, 30% fat, and 30% protein. If you're logging in MyFitnessPal or in the HSN app or tracking your calories some other way, then those are the percentages that you want to use. And then our third principle is trying to limit the amount of processed carbs and sugar for sure. I say it all the time, but the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar for women and 9 teaspoons for men. That's 24 grams for women and 36 grams for men. On average, the average Americans consume over 150 pounds of sugar per year, which comes out to be about 46 teaspoons per day. Or 160 grams. And so that is way more than what's recommended. So it's not surprising that sugar is super addicting and it feels like it's hidden in almost every food product that you find that comes in a package. So just really starting to read your food labels and shopping the perimeter of the grocery store is a great place to start. Y'all can check us out on Google. These are some Healthy Steps Nutrition, our dietitian success stories. And then I plugged in a couple of our people that have been rock stars this year so far, Scott, Lacey, and Carla. If you ever see them in the gym, you can ask them about their experience with nutrition coaching. And I assume they'll have good things to say because they've had good success this year. Something else that is a free resource that I want to recommend to y'all is the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. Our dietitian, Nicole at Healthy Steps Nutrition, releases this almost weekly, but it's a lot of good success stories, a lot of good information. She interviews a lot of people, authors that we mentioned in some of the books that I was talking about earlier. If you're looking for some help with setting your schedule or your nutrition, then here's 2 ways that you can do that. Well, you can book a free intro with me or Dina, and we can kind of give you all of the different options that our nutrition coaching program has to offer. Or just a one-time session, a power hour, if you're looking to help with that schedule, or you just want a meal plan, or you need some good recipes, or you just need some advice without, monthly accountability. A power hour is just a 1 hour sit down with a coach, and we'll do whatever you need us to do. So you can scan and book those. They should still be linked to our calendar. I didn't double check them before today. Me and electronics don't get along all the time. But I hope you got some things out of today. Remember, those takeaways are set a morning schedule, set an evening routine, or not a morning schedule, but a morning routine, and set an evening routine, and then start working out time blocking all of your to-do list into specific times throughout your day and your week. Okay, I'm going to let y'all go. It's been 30 minutes. It's been fun. If you registered, I will send you a copy, and then I will eventually get this uploaded onto our blog on Bandit CrossFit's website where you can watch it again anytime you'd like. Okay, y'all have a good day.